Dream of the Red Chamber, also known as The Story of the Stone, is one of China's 4 great classical novels. Written in the 18th century during the Qing dynasty by Cao Xueqin, the novel stands as a monumental achievement in world literature. With its richly developed characters, intricate plot, and deep exploration of themes such as love, family, social structure, and the transience of life, Dream of the Red Chamber offers a comprehensive portrayal of Chinese society and human nature. This essay seeks to provide a detailed analytical examination of the novel, focusing on its thematic richness, narrative structure, character development, and cultural significance. Dream of the Red Chamber is a novel deeply embedded with themes that explore both the grandeur and the fragility of life. The central theme revolves around the impermanence of worldly pleasures and the inevitability of decline. The story is set within the aristocratic Jia family, whose fortunes rise and fall throughout the novel. This serves as a broader metaphor for the transient nature of wealth, power, and social status, reflecting the Buddhist and Taoist philosophies that permeate the narrative. One of the most significant themes is the exploration of love and desire, particularly in the context of the love triangle between the main character, Jia Baoyu, and his 2 cousins, Lin Daiyu and Zhu Baochai. The novel contrasts the idealistic, melancholic love of Baoyu and Daiyu with the more pragmatic and socially advantageous love of Baoyu and Baochai. This love triangle not only highlights the conflicts between personal desire and societal expectations but also underscores the complexities of human emotions. The theme of fate versus free will is another key element of the novel. The characters are often portrayed as being caught in the web of fate, with the destinies seemingly predetermined by forces beyond their control. However, the novel also suggests that the choices individuals make, whether in love, career, or family life, can influence the course of their lives, even if only within the constraints set by fate. This tension between predestination and autonomy creates a sense of tragic inevitability that permeates the narrative. The narrative structure of Dream of the Red Chamber is complex and multifaceted, mirroring the intricate social hierarchy and relationships within the Jia family. The novel is often described as a Kazi Jiren, or scholar beauty, novel, a popular genre in Ming and Qing literature that focuses on the lives of talented scholars and beautiful women. However, Dream of the Red Chamber transcends this genre by incorporating elements of autobiography, social commentary, and philosophical reflection. The story is framed by the supernatural, with a prologue that introduces a sentient stone, rejected by the goddess Nuwa, who seeks to understand human emotions through reincarnation as Jia Baoyu. This framing device not only adds a layer of mysticism to the narrative but also serves as a commentary on the illusory nature of reality, a recurring theme in the novel. The novel's structure is episodic, with a large cast of characters and numerous subplots that intertwine and overlap. This reflects the intricacies of social life in the Qing dynasty, where personal relationships and social networks were paramount. The narrative shifts fluidly between different characters' perspectives, offering a panoramic view of the Jia family and the wider society in which they live. The use of poetry and dream sequences throughout the novel adds to its structural complexity. These elements are not merely decorative but serve to deepen the reader's understanding of the characters' inner lives and the novel's thematic concerns. For example, Lin Daiyu's poetry often reflects her melancholy and sense of alienation, while Jia Baoyu's dreams offer insights into his subconscious desires and fears. The characters in Dream of the Red Chamber are among the most vividly drawn in Chinese literature, with each figure representing different aspects of human nature and society. Jia Baoyu, the novel's protagonist, is a sensitive and rebellious young man who rejects the conventional path of scholarly success in favor of pursuing his own ideals. He is deeply empathetic, particularly towards women, and his relationships with Lin Daiyu and Zhu Baochai are central to the novel's exploration of love and desire. Lin Daiyu is perhaps the most tragic figure in the novel. She is frail, emotional, and highly intelligent, often expressing her feelings through poetry. Her love for Baoyu is intense and consuming, yet it is ultimately unfulfilled due to the social pressures and familial obligations that dictate their lives. Daiyu's untimely death is one of the most poignant moments in the novel, symbolizing the destructive power of unrequited love and the impermanence of life. Zhu Baochai, in contrast, represents the ideal Confucian woman, virtuous, pragmatic, and composed. Her relationship with Baoyu is more stable and socially acceptable, yet it lacks the emotional depth of Baoyu's bond with Daiyu. Baochai's marriage to Baoyu, arranged by their families, highlights the conflict between individual desires and societal expectations, a central theme of the novel. The supporting characters are equally well developed, each contributing to the novel's rich tapestry of human experience. Wang Zifeng, Baoyu's cousin-in-law, is a cunning and ambitious woman who manipulates others to maintain her power within the family. Her rise and fall serve as a commentary on the corrupting influence of power and the precariousness of social status. Similarly, the matriarch, Grandmother Jia, embodies the traditional values of Confucianism, yet she is also a source of warmth and protection for her grandchildren, particularly Baoyu and Daiyu. Dream of the Red Chamber is not only a literary masterpiece but also a valuable historical document that offers insights into the social, cultural, and philosophical milieu of the Qing dynasty. The novel provides a detailed portrayal of aristocratic life, from the elaborate rituals and ceremonies that structure daily life to the complex relationships between servants and masters. It also reflects the Confucian values that dominated Chinese society, particularly the emphasis on filial piety, social hierarchy, and the importance of family. The novel's depiction of women is particularly noteworthy. Although women in the Qing dynasty were often confined to domestic roles, Dream of the Red Chamber gives voice to their experiences, desires, and struggles. The female characters are not merely passive victims of their circumstances but are portrayed as complex individuals with their own aspirations and emotions. The novel challenges the traditional gender roles of its time, suggesting that women, like men, have the capacity for intellectual and emotional depth. Moreover, the novel's exploration of Buddhism and Taoism reflects the spiritual currents of the time. The characters frequently engage in philosophical discussions about the nature of reality, the meaning of life, and the possibility of transcendence. These reflections are not merely abstract but are integrated into the characters' lived experiences, influencing the decisions and shaping the destinies. The layers of symbolism and allegory in Dream of the Red Chamber further deepen the novel's thematic richness and cultural resonance. Cao Xueqin weaves an intricate web of symbols that reflect the transient nature of life, the inevitability of decline, and the search for meaning within the confines of human existence. This section delves into some of the most significant symbols and their implications. The stone introduced in the novel's prologue is a powerful symbol. Rejected by the goddess Nuwa after it was used to repair the sky, the stone symbolizes both imperfection and potential. Its desire to experience human life reflects a yearning for completeness, which drives much of the novel's action. The stone's journey into the human world as Jia Baoyu suggests a cyclical relationship between the divine and the mundane, highlighting the Buddhist concept of samsara, the cycle of birth, death, and rebirth. Similarly, the idea of the Red Chamber, which can be interpreted as both a literal place and a metaphor for the world of illusion, reflects the dream-like quality of existence. The title itself hints at the fragility and ephemerality of life, as the Red Chamber can be associated with the private quarters of aristocratic women, filled with beauty and luxury, yet ultimately subject to decay. The novel's recurrent use of dreams to reveal characters' inner thoughts and premonitions of future events reinforces the idea that life itself is a fleeting and illusory experience, one that can dissipate like a dream upon waking. The Grand View Garden, where much of the novel takes place, serves as both a physical and symbolic space. Created as an idyllic retreat for the young women of the Jia family, the garden represents a microcosm of the Jia household, filled with beauty, art, and culture. It is within this garden that the characters experience moments of joy, sorrow, and introspection, making it a space where the complexities of life are distilled. However, the garden is also a symbol of the family's decline. Although it is initially presented as a paradise, it gradually becomes a site of melancholy and loss as the family's fortunes wane. The decay of the garden mirrors the disintegration of the Jia family, reflecting the novel's overarching theme of impermanence. The transformation of the Grand View Garden from a place of vitality to one of desolation symbolizes the inevitable decline that accompanies all human endeavors, no matter how grand. While the characters in Dream of the Red Chamber are richly developed individuals, they also function as allegorical figures representing various aspects of human nature and social reality. Jia Baoyu, for instance, can be seen as an embodiment of the spiritual seeker. His dissatisfaction with the conventional path of success and his yearning for a deeper understanding of life set him apart from other characters, positioning him as a figure of existential inquiry. His eventual renunciation of worldly attachments to become a monk aligns him with the Buddhist ideal of detachment from the material world. Lin Daiyu, on the other hand, represents the fragility of beauty and the inevitability of suffering. Her delicate health, intense emotions, and tragic love for Baoyu make her a symbol of the transience of life's pleasures. Her poetic sensibility and melancholic temperament underscore the novel's exploration of the sorrow that often accompanies deep emotional attachment. Zhu Baochai, by contrast, is often interpreted as a symbol of Confucian propriety and social order. Her virtues, beauty, intelligence, and filial piety make her the ideal woman in the eyes of her society, yet her pragmatic approach to life contrasts sharply with Daiyu's romanticism. Baochai's marriage to Baoyu, although socially sanctioned, is ultimately unsatisfying, highlighting the tension between societal expectations and personal fulfillment. The other characters also contribute to the novel's allegorical landscape. Wang Zifeng, with her cunning and ambition, represents the dangers of excessive desire for power and control. Her eventual downfall serves as a moral lesson on the consequences of hubris. Similarly, the younger generation of the Jia family, including characters like Jia Huan and Jia Lian, illustrate the moral and ethical decline that accompanies the family's material and social deterioration. Dream of the Red Chamber offers a complex portrayal of women, who are central to both the narrative and the thematic exploration of the novel. In the highly patriarchal society of the Qing dynasty, women's lives were often confined to the domestic sphere, and their value was largely determined by their ability to maintain the family's honor and produce heirs. However, Cao Xueqin's depiction of female characters challenges these conventions by presenting women as fully realized individuals with their own desires, intellects, and agency. The novel is notable for its detailed and empathetic portrayal of female characters, who are often more developed and nuanced than their male counterparts. This focus on women's experiences offers a critique of the rigid gender roles that limited their opportunities and freedoms. Through characters like Lin Daiyu and Zhu Baochai, the novel explores the emotional and psychological toll of these constraints, as well as the ways in which women navigate and resist them. The sisterhood among the female characters, particularly within the Grand View Garden, provides a space for them to express themselves more freely, away from the direct control of the male-dominated world outside. This female community is marked by both solidarity and competition, reflecting the complex dynamics of relationships among women in a patriarchal society. While the women of the Jia family are often depicted as victims of their circumstances, they are also shown to possess strength, intelligence, and resilience, challenging the notion of women as merely passive subjects. Dream of the Red Chamber is deeply rooted in the philosophical traditions of Confucianism, Buddhism, and Taoism, each of which influences the narrative and the characters in significant ways. These philosophical underpinnings not only enrich the novel's thematic complexity but also provide a framework through which the characters' actions and the story's events can be understood. Confucianism, which emphasizes the importance of social order, hierarchy, and familial duty, is a central theme in Dream of the Red Chamber. The novel reflects the Confucian ideals that dominated Qing dynasty society, particularly the concept of filial piety, which dictates that individuals must respect and care for their parents and elders. The Jia family, as a large aristocratic clan, operates within a strict Confucian framework where each member has a defined role and responsibility. Grandmother Jia, the family matriarch, embodies the Confucian ideal of respect for elders and authority. Her position at the top of the family hierarchy grants her significant power and influence, and her decisions often dictate the actions of others. The family's adherence to Confucian values is evident in the way they prioritize marriage alliances, social status, and the continuation of the family line. Marriages, such as the union between Jia Baoyu and Zhu Baochai, are arranged with the aim of strengthening the family's social standing rather than fulfilling personal desires. However, the novel also critiques the rigid application of Confucian principles, particularly in how they can stifle individual autonomy and personal happiness. Jia Baoyu's character is a prime example of this tension. While he is expected to follow the traditional path of success by becoming a scholar and fulfilling his duties to the family, Baoyu is resistant to these expectations. His refusal to conform to the Confucian ideal of the dutiful son highlights the conflict between personal freedom and societal obligation. Baoyu's relationships, particularly with Lin Daiyu, further illustrate the limitations imposed by Confucian norms, as their love is ultimately sacrificed to uphold familial duty and social propriety. Buddhism plays a significant role in shaping the philosophical landscape of Dream of the Red Chamber, particularly through its emphasis on the impermanence of life and the futility of worldly attachments. The novel repeatedly returns to the Buddhist concept of dukkha, suffering, and the idea that all worldly pleasures are transient and ultimately lead to suffering. The character of Jia Baoyu embodies many Buddhist principles, especially the idea of detachment from material desires. Throughout the novel, Baoyu is depicted as someone who is deeply aware of the illusory nature of life. His disinterest in pursuing a traditional career or accumulating wealth reflects a Buddhist understanding of the impermanence of these pursuits. Baoyu's eventual decision to renounce the world and become a monk can be seen as the culmination of his spiritual journey, where he seeks to escape the cycle of suffering by rejecting worldly attachments. Lin Daiyu's character also reflects Buddhist themes, particularly in her awareness of the inevitability of suffering and death. Her frail health and melancholic disposition make her acutely conscious of life's transience. Daiyu's attachment to Baoyu, despite its depth and sincerity, is tinged with the knowledge that it cannot last, which adds to the tragic quality of her character. Her death, marked by the burning of her poetry, symbolizes the ultimate futility of human endeavors in the face of impermanence. The presence of Buddhist monks and temples throughout Dream of the Red Chamber serves to reinforce the novel's engagement with Buddhist philosophy. Characters such as the Taoist priest and the Buddhist monk who appear in various chapters provide a contrast to the secular world of the Jia family and highlight the spiritual dimension of the story. These figures often offer philosophical insights and reflect on the nature of existence, further emphasizing the Buddhist themes of impermanence and detachment. The novel's dream sequences, particularly those involving Baoyu, also underscore Buddhist ideas. These dreams often reveal the illusory nature of the material world and the futility of human desires. In one notable dream, Baoyu encounters a series of allegorical figures and scenes that illustrate the transitory nature of life and the illusion of worldly success. These dreams serve as a means of exploring existential questions and provide Baoyu with moments of clarity about the true nature of reality. Taoism, with its emphasis on harmony with nature and the natural flow of life, is another key philosophical influence in the novel. Taoist principles are reflected in the novel's portrayal of nature, especially in the setting of the Grand View Garden. The garden, with its carefully designed landscapes, water features, and seasonal changes, represents the Taoist ideal of living in harmony with the natural world. The beauty and tranquility of the garden provide a backdrop for the characters' personal experiences and emotional growth, highlighting the Taoist belief in the interconnectedness of all things. Taoism also informs the novel's exploration of spontaneity and the natural course of events. Characters such as Jia Baoyu exhibit Taoist traits through their resistance to rigid social conventions and their preference for a more fluid and spontaneous approach to life. Baoyu's interactions with nature, his love for the garden, and his rejection of conventional success reflect Taoist values of simplicity, naturalness, and non-interference. Cao Xueqin's literary techniques and style contribute significantly to the novel's depth and impact. The use of poetry is particularly notable, as it not only enhances the novel's aesthetic qualities but also provides insight into the characters' inner lives. The poems written by Lin Daiyu, for example, convey her emotional state and her reflections on love and loss. These poems are carefully integrated into the narrative and serve to deepen the reader's understanding of the characters and their experiences. The novel's narrative structure is another key aspect of its literary complexity. The episodic nature of the story allows for a wide range of characters and subplots, creating a rich and textured portrayal of the Jia family and their world. The shifting perspectives and multiple viewpoints provide a comprehensive view of the social and personal dynamics at play, reflecting the complexity of human relationships and societal structures. Dream of the Red Chamber has left a lasting legacy in Chinese literature and culture. Its impact extends beyond the literary sphere, influencing art, theater, and popular culture. The novel has inspired numerous adaptations, including operas, films, television dramas, and stage productions. These adaptations often reinterpret the novel's themes and characters, bringing new perspectives to the classic text. The novel's influence can also be seen in the field of Chinese studies, where it is a central focus of academic research and debate. Scholars have explored various aspects of the novel, including its historical context, literary style, and philosophical underpinnings. The study of Dream of the Red Chamber has led to a deeper understanding of Qing dynasty society, Chinese literature, and the broader cultural and philosophical traditions that shape the novel. To fully appreciate the depth of Dream of the Red Chamber, it is crucial to understand the historical and cultural context in which it was written. The novel is set during the Qing dynasty, a period of significant social, political, and cultural change in China. The Qing dynasty, established by the Manchu people in the 17th century, was characterized by a complex interplay between traditional Chinese culture and new influences brought by the ruling Manchu elite. The novel provides a vivid depiction of the social hierarchy and class structure of Qing dynasty society. The Jia family's aristocratic status places them at the upper echelons of society, yet the decline reflects the broader socio-economic changes occurring during this period. The Jia family's fortunes rise and fall in tandem with the shifting social and political landscape, illustrating the instability that often accompanies the decline of aristocratic power. The detailed portrayal of the Jia family's household, complete with its elaborate rituals, internal politics, and daily routines, offers a microcosm of Qing society. The hierarchical nature of the family mirrors the broader social order, where authority is concentrated in the hands of a few, and social mobility is limited. The novel critiques this rigidity by highlighting the conflicts and tensions that arise within the family and between individuals and the social system. The decline of the Jia family is a central theme in the novel and serves as a reflection of the broader decline of the aristocracy in Qing China. As the Jia family's wealth diminishes and their influence wanes, the novel explores the impact of this decline on the characters and their lives. This decline is not merely a backdrop but a driving force in the narrative, shaping the characters' actions and decisions. The depiction of the Jia family's decline can be seen as a commentary on the broader socio-political changes of the time. The Qing dynasty faced numerous challenges, including internal strife, corruption, and external pressures from foreign powers. The novel's portrayal of the family's decline resonates with the historical realities of a society grappling with change and uncertainty. The novel also reflects the economic and social changes that were taking place during the Qing dynasty. The transition from a predominantly agrarian society to one increasingly influenced by commerce and trade is evident in the novel's portrayal of wealth and economic status. The Jia family's opulent lifestyle and their eventual financial difficulties highlight the shifting economic dynamics of the period. The novel's exploration of wealth and poverty, and the consequences of economic decline, provides insight into the social and economic tensions of the time. The contrast between the Jia family's former prosperity and their later struggles illustrates the volatility of wealth and the impact of economic instability on individuals and families. Dream of the Red Chamber is deeply influenced by classical Chinese literature and artistic traditions. The novel's use of poetry, which is integrated into the narrative and serves to enhance the characterization and thematic depth, reflects the literary conventions of the time. Poetry was a highly esteemed art form in Qing China, and the novel's incorporation of verse underscores its alignment with classical literary traditions. The novel's structure and style are also influenced by earlier Chinese literary works, including historical novels, romantic literature, and philosophical texts. Cao Xueqin draws on these traditions to create a narrative that is both rich in historical detail and innovative in its approach. The use of allegory, symbolism, and multiple narrative perspectives reflects the influence of classical Chinese storytelling techniques and adds layers of complexity to the text. The reception and legacy of Dream of the Red Chamber are significant aspects of its cultural impact. Initially published in the 18th century, the novel was met with critical acclaim and has since been regarded as one of China's greatest literary achievements. Its influence extends beyond literature to other forms of cultural expression, including art, theater, and film. The novel's critical reception has evolved over time, with early readers and critics recognizing its literary merit and complexity. The work was initially serialized and received enthusiastic responses from its audience, who praised its rich characterization and intricate plot. Over the centuries, the novel has been subject to extensive scholarly analysis, with critics examining its themes, structure, and cultural significance. In contemporary times, Dream of the Red Chamber is celebrated for its literary innovation and its contribution to the global literary canon. Scholars and critics from various disciplines have explored its thematic depth, narrative techniques, and philosophical insights. The novel's ability to engage with universal themes while reflecting specific cultural and historical contexts has cemented its place as a seminal work in world literature. The novel's impact is also evident in its numerous adaptations and reinterpretations. Dream of the Red Chamber has been adapted into various forms, including opera, film, television, and stage productions. These adaptations often bring new perspectives to the novel's themes and characters, making it accessible to different audiences and keeping its legacy alive. The cultural impact of the novel extends beyond literature, influencing art, theater, and popular culture. The novel's rich imagery and themes have inspired artists and creators to explore its stories and characters in their work. The continued interest in Dream of the Red Chamber reflects its enduring relevance and its ability to resonate with audiences across generations. Dream of the Red Chamber stands as a monumental achievement in Chinese literature and world literature. Its intricate narrative, richly developed characters, and profound thematic exploration make it a work of enduring significance. The novel's engagement with Confucianism, Buddhism, and Taoism provides a philosophical framework that deepens its exploration of the transience of life and the complexities of human experience. The historical and cultural context of the Qing dynasty, along with the novel's reflection of economic and social changes, adds to its relevance and impact. Cao Xueqin's innovative use of literary techniques, including poetry and allegory, contributes to the novel's complexity and literary brilliance. The reception and legacy of Dream of the Red Chamber highlight its lasting influence and cultural significance. As a work that continues to inspire and challenge readers, scholars, and artists, the novel remains a testament to Cao Xueqin's literary genius and a timeless exploration of the human condition. Its ability to capture the essence of life, society, and the human heart ensures that it will continue to be a cornerstone of literary and cultural heritage for generations to come. Dream of the Red Chamber is a masterpiece of world literature that offers a profound and multi-layered exploration of human experience. Through its complex characters, intricate narrative structure, and rich symbolism, the novel delves into the deepest aspects of love, desire, fate, and the impermanence of life. Its portrayal of the rise and fall of the Jia family serves as a powerful metaphor for the transient nature of all human achievements, while its sympathetic and nuanced depiction of women challenges the gender norms of its time. The novel's cultural significance extends far beyond its immediate historical context, influencing generations of readers and scholars and earning its place as a cornerstone of Chinese literature. As a work that continues to inspire and challenge its readers, Dream of the Red Chamber remains a testament to Cao Xueqin's literary genius and a timeless exploration of the complexities of life, society, and the human heart.